Can you hear us now? Perfect. Okay, let's try this again. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Breanna Flaim. I'm really excited to be here as a guest game master running a one-shot of Medula. Tonight's one-shot is titled Echo Chamber. Now, if you're not familiar with the system, Medula is essentially designed as my interpretation of being very primed for survival horror. The characters, or in this case, the anomalies that are going to be at the table today, are in a fragmented reality. Now, fragmented, what I love about it, that's really dependent on the game master. So this particular fragmentation will be seen shortly. But speaking of my anomalies, I would love to have all my players introduce themselves and their characters. Why don't we go ahead and start as my Zoom window is showing me. Let's start with Fishy.
Oh, with me?
Yes.
Oh my God, hi. I'm Fishy, now in the internet, but my name is Jimena. I will be playing Amy Shaw. She's a grumpy old retired lady who served in the army as a private. So yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited for this game, and I honestly don't know what to expect. But yeah, there's like some expectations here to who's gonna die first.
Like competition. We'll see what happens. It's definitely not weighted in one way or another, regardless of our previous character stat rolls. How about next up, Phil?
Hi, my name is Philippe, and I'll be playing Algernon Blackwood. So I am a bit of a social butterfly, and I am trapped in this situation, and I just want to see how it plays out with my friends.
I'm Allan. I'm going to be playing Marko, Maddox, him. He is a bit of a recluse and just works on computers all day, every day, and always has his headphones on.
Awesome. And last but not least, Pita.
Hi, I am Pita Cruz, and I am going to play today Alex Bailey, which is basically a chemist. So she goes to work and probably fabricates some drugs, and then goes home and then rests, and that's her routine every day. So I don't know what to expect of this game too. I hope I'm not going to die so soon in this, but okay, let's see what Bree has for us in this game, and I'm really excited to play with her too.
Well, thank you. I'm really excited to have you all at my table today. And speaking of excited, I would like to give a quick thanks to ReRoll and the sponsors. First off, Noad, the designer of all ReRoll layouts, the Roll Heroes, accessories for role-playing games, and Serious Owl, dice for role-playing games. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and dive in to the Echo Chamber. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that there were some questions about characters, anomalies, what exactly is going on. Now, this is somewhat intentional from my perspective for my players. My players and their characters, or the anomalies, are nearly blank slates. Their existence has been monotonous. Their memory bordering on non-existent. They recall their homes, basic, clean, and unassuming. They know their jobs, where most people they interact with are uninteresting, but almost constantly living in fear. Now, with this lack of recollection, there's parts of memories that are starting to fade. Who were they more than a week ago, a month ago, a year ago? Their memories have been failing. Each day seems the same. The one strong memory they have is this, that of the beast. I'm sorry to break it to you like this, but you all are a victim, prey. Sad sacrifice to a colossal beast that hungers only for your kind. But there is hope. They can help you. Each of you have been lucky, notified that safety from this beast can be guaranteed for a time if you are capable. You will need to succeed as those before you have in the Echo Chamber, and if you are capable, you will be spared. Now, let's set the scene. All of the anomalies open their eyes. They feel they are now sitting in hard plastic chairs in a blank, unassuming room, light blue walls surrounding you, fluorescent lighting messing with your eyes initially as you open them. In front of you, you see a long table that has 4 stacks of items, neatly organized and evenly spread. Small pieces of paper in front of each with names. As each of you look around, you notice that you are not alone in this room. There are 3 other people. How you got here, you don't quite remember. But let's start with Amy Shaw. Would you describe what Amy looks like, who she is, or at least what the other players can see?
So Amy is a grown woman. I wouldn't say like she's a grandma, but you know, like she's in like her 65 years old. You know, you can see her grayish hair in a bun. She's not that tall. I would say like 165 as well, centimeters. She naturally has this like grumpy face. Like she always has this, you know, her eyebrows are always like in this position, and even you see her as an old woman, a grown woman. She kind of sees like a fit woman, no? Like she has good condition even for her apparent age, right? So yeah, that will be like the general description of her.
Perfect.
Grumpy.
And next up, let's look over Algernon.
So Algernon is tall and slender. He's not muscular, definitely, but he takes care of his body. Black hair, black eyes, well, brown eyes, and strong jaw. He's considered mostly like most people would consider him to be attractive, and he knows it, so he uses it to his advantage. He's letting grow a little like some beard on his face. He's still hasn't decided if he's gonna keep it or not, but yeah, so that's basically the appearance of Algernon.
Algernon, perfect. Marko.
He's average height, average weight, just very boring looking. Always has at least one earbud on. It's basically the like nerdy guy in all the movies that he's supposed to solve like the problem with the computer. That's how he looks, you know.
Perfect. And Alex.
Alex, she is a very small girl. She's thin, with a very pale skin. She has some shadows under her eyes and a pixie cut. She's a redhead, but it's a fake redhead. I mean, she dyes her hair, and in some parts of that hair has some blue and green and yellow and red, but they are really crimson red. She likes to do her makeup, but with this cat eyeliner up and down. She has freckles, but she has freckles that are natural and those freckles that are painted because she really loves them. It's like a characteristic of her face. She's kind of like a baby face. She you don't really know how old is she. She can be 15 or she can be maybe be 30. So it is very variable, her age, and right now probably she's like in this stage of paranoia or something. Like she's really out of place, so she's looking like this to everybody and not knowing what's going on.
Understood. Now, if you direct your attention back up to those small sets of items that are on the table in front of you, you'll notice that each little piece of paper has a different name. First, Amy, Algernon, Marko, and Alex. Now, if you go over and start looking at the items, first there are each a set of very light frame glasses for each of you. And then there's also either items or weapons on the table as well. Now, from our character creation session, why don't you describe what the items are? Let's start with Amy again.
Right. So I guess with Amy would, approach that table directly to her name. She does remember her name, I guess. And what she sees there is, first of all, a combat knife, right? So it's a really fine combat knife. I don't know, like she immediately gets drawn into it, like she has always used it, There's this thing called muscular memory, and it seems like when she grabs this knife, it's like she already knows how to use it and how to like she has never forgot how to use it. So she feels comfortable with it. It grabs fine on her hand, And then she also has in her name a shotgun. It's really a mystery how she got that, but she also knows how to use it perfectly, I think, right? Like, again, for the muscle memory, like she kind of like loads it and it's like, yeah, this is mine, right? And yeah, that will be all her weapons.
As you see this older yet very capable and self-assured woman holding these items like seeming second nature in terms of the handling, the maneuvering of the knife, over to her right, it's almost in stark difference where two weapons are placed. Algernon, would you describe what is waiting for you?
Of course. There's a small round bottle, like some kind of spray or something. It looks suspiciously like a perfume bottle, and it has, I'd say, around half of its original content. So it seems like it has been used since already a couple of times, several times before. And Arjuna just reaches for it and grabs it and, yes, my old friend, you and I have been through thick and thin. You will help me through this. Now just like grab it.
And then while the bottle is being sniffed, Marko, your items are right next to him. Would you describe what is waiting for you along with the glasses?
I'm definitely staring a little bit at Algernon sniffing. But then I kind of get myself out of there and go pick up my items. It's a small little portable soldering iron. I stick that into one of my pockets. And then maybe not as smooth or as tactical as Amy, but there's a rifle and a handgun waiting for me, and I kind of holster those and sling one up.
And lastly, the last pile awaiting is for Alex. What is present there?
There in the table is kind of like a briefcase, but it's little and it's black, made of plastic. And there is a Swiss knife. When Alex opens the her kind of briefcase, inside there is a lot of things of chemistry. I mean, there are like a pair of safety goggles. There are Erlenmeyer flasks, test tubes, and there is a funnel, cylinders that are graduated, droppers and pipettes and things like that. And there are little kind of tubes with dusts and liquids with etiquettes that says which element or which substance it's inside. So she checks that everything is in place. It's actually hers, and in the Swiss knife, it has her name on it. So she's kind of like, okay, this is mine. Then she closes it. She grabs the Swiss knife and put it on her in her pocket, and then kind of looks at everybody like shy and unconfident and something. because she doesn't know what's going on.
Perfect. Now, as everyone's standing here, as you're looking over the items and maybe making slight observations to these people who are nearby and how they're interacting with what's on the table, would everyone make a knowledge check for me?
Oh shit.
Oh, first roll of the day.
So that will be a G6.
A d6 plus what you have. If you have a
Oh.
knowledge, you add the bonus of knowledge, and if you don't have it, you add only the mental bonus.
Okay.
8.
5 total.
I have
Five.
no idea. No.
4 or 5. Okay, so Algernon, with that knowledge, as you're looking around at everyone, this is something that maybe because of the lesser amount of items, a very quick observation for you with the bottle that you're familiar with, looking over and just kind of observing how they're interacting. You notice that when Alex is going through this small chemist set, for lack of a better term, she's opening, it looks like these have been used before. The weapons look worn. They definitely have been, they're not new in any sense for anyone at this table. And of course, your bottle, no exception. Now, with everyone's memories, this is not necessarily built into Medula. This is more of a storytelling thing I would like to try. Would everyone please roll a d12 and let me know what number you got? If anyone has any type of, if you match a roll with anyone, re-roll it.
Okay.
9.
Oh, nice. I got a 1.
I got a 9 as well. So I'm gonna
Okay.
reroll it, right? Because Marko rolled 9 first.
Yes, go ahead and re-roll it, Algernon.
10.
And Amy was 1 and, or Alex is 5. Perfect. Okay, thank you. Now, while you're all standing in this room and now you have your items on you, put away, fastened, holstered, and you're waiting, a couple minutes pass by. Are you going to be interacting with these other individuals who are present?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I just want to say, like, addressing everyone. Well, it would look like I came grossly unprepared for whatever this is. You all seem so, how to put it, well, prepared. If you know what I mean. I mean, weapons, chemistry kits, bigger weapons. I mean, poor dear old me, as I only brought this tiny bottle of perfume. Whatever will become of me? By the way, my name is Algernon Blackwood, at your service. Especially at your service, ladies.
You know, back in the day, they would say that the pretty boys will die first.
Nowadays, too, yes, I assume. I
Yeah.
don't think that has changed much. You see, I am not built for combat, so I am hoping I will weasel my way out of these kinds of situations. Hopefully.
So yeah, be careful, pretty boy. I smell the perfume. Yeah, really, you should take care of yourself.
Yes, yes.
Oh boy.
I mean, standing by such a strong and prepared woman such as yourself.
Right. Amy show, by the way.
The pleasure is mine.
Amy, yeah. Yeah, and you, pretty girl? What's your
Alex
name?
is like checking the labels, and then they're looking at you, how you're talking and all that. And when he says that he only has the perfume, she says, well, perfume has alcohol, and that can be flammable. So probably you have a weapon with you, so don't be so, pessimist.
I mean, I'd have to procure like some kind of lighter or fire source, I am assuming. But yes,
have
you are
it?
right.
You have matches or something like that?
Regrettably, I do not. But perhaps
Oh,
someone here has a couple of matches they can
Making fire is not a problem. It's pretty simple. I can teach you. Yeah.
And if we cannot find matches or something, well, sorry, man, but you're screwed.
I mean, I can always spray this into someone's eye and blind them temporarily. So I am not completely screwed, as you say. But
Well,
we've all introduced ourselves, except the gentleman right here, which happens to have the biggest guns in the room.
Well, I am Alex. I didn't say my name, but I am Alex. Just call me Alex. That's fine. Yeah, who are you, guy, over there?
Oh, I'm Marko, and like you see, I show them like all my guns and my tool. It has like a little sticky name that says Marko Maddox on everything, like every single item. I'm pretty sure I am.
Well, unless maybe someone gave you the equipment that it's not for you, we'll call you Marko.
Okay,
Okay,
to assume it is his name, yes.
Assuming that, and if it's not, there's not another way to call him anyways.
So
That makes
anyways, oh, sorry, yeah.
As this conversation is occurring, almost in the middle of a sentence as Algernon's beginning to speak once more, each of your glasses that you've been given, there's a slight buzz in them, and you have a familiarity where messages come up. Now, these don't necessarily project in front of you, but each of you do see it in your own field of vision. There is a message that says, when you are ready, proceed forward. Your challenge will begin. You see there are 2 doors on the opposite side of the room.
Are
Well,
you guys seeing this?
I'm assuming that
He's like doing this.
as a gentleman, it is my duty to exit first one of the door if you are all up for it.
I mean,
Sure.
you can do it. You can be our guest.
Fine. If I have to be shot, let's at least be done with it. So, yeah.
Use
gonna go.
your perfume like this.
Yes. No, actually, I'm gonna keep it safe. I'm gonna like tuck it. I have like this jacket, and I'm gonna tuck it safely, and I'm gonna go towards. There's like 2 doors, one to the north and one to the south, or something. Yes.
So there just seems to be a single set of double doors in front of you. So if you're approaching those double doors, they're like opposite from where you were initially seated when you came to consciousness. As you're approaching, there's actually a projection that appears in front of you. It looks like a screen immediately in front of you with lights. And there's 2 flashing options: company or isolation.
Huh. Wait, one question. Are the chairs like bolted to the floor, or can I just like grab a chair?
The chairs do not appear to be bolted to the floor.
And you said that there were plastic chairs, right?
Yes, metal legs, plastic seats.
Metal legs.
You're not going to do it.
Is there any way for me to try like to break one of the metal legs from one of the chairs? Would that be something allowed? I mean, could I try?
If you start going over there and start prying at the chair, you don't hear, unless you're, these new acquaintances also tell you not to. No one is telling you no. If you would like to try, I would have to see a athletics check.
So
Just
again, 1d6.
Yes, 1d6.
Plus my physical, which is 1. Okay, so I got a 2 on a die, and it's +1, so it's a 3.
Okay, so I will say that you are successful. It takes a minute. It's almost slightly embarrassing as to how long it's taking. A couple tries, but you're able to kind of peel off the plastic that was really old and still stuck onto it, and you have essentially the frame at this point.
Now I'm ready. I'm gonna choose the you said company and
Isolation.
Yes.
isolation. So I'm gonna go with company. Yeah. So I'll just like turn around, smile at them, and then okay. So here I go, and I'm gonna choose company.
Company. Okay. So as you indicate company, you reach out, pressing forward. Although there's nothing physically there, it's like an inclination immediately just to press it. And the doors in front of you click as though they've unlocked. If you would like to proceed forward. Right. Now for the rest of the group, you do notice that once that selection has been made and the click happens, that screen goes away.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Do I
Wait.
know that? Do I know that I made like a choice for the whole group?
Once it goes away, I would say you do feel, I think you connect the dots there.
You know what? I'm just gonna go forward. Yeah. I'm sorry.
And just to clarify, Algernon, you'd selected company, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So as you start going towards the door and you open it up, it's almost a strange, surreal feeling. Your bodies almost feel light for a moment. And as you're blinking, without even moving forward, the surroundings around you have changed. It's like your consciousness is in a different location at this point. What you see around you is a dimly lit hall. There's a light sound of footsteps. There's mumbling that you can hear echoing through the halls. You hear a sound of a lightly ticking clock faintly in the distance. And you see people moving ahead of you down the hallway. They don't seem to be paying attention to you, but you do see the other anomalies standing with you. What would you like to do?
First thing first, do I smell like my regular self? Is it, or has something changed?
You know, actually, would you go ahead and make a perception check?
Yes. Perception. So that's with social. So I got a 4 on the die, and plus 3, I got a 7.
7, okay. So although Algernon, the first thought is to check if you smell normal. You smell normal. You smell like yourself. But as you're smelling, you're taking in other scents as well. There's at first a very clean scent to it, like chemicals, cleaning chemicals. But then a metallic scent as well.
And I'm with the other anomalies, right? So Marko, Alex, and Amy are around.
Yes.
You smell that?
It smells clean.
Yes.
I smell myself real quick. Yeah, that's weird.
We all smell the same thing, or we have to roll?
I would say since Algernon's brought it to your attention, you would be able to sense it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. The only situation where I smelled something like this is when I have cut myself with one of my equipment things, and then I have to clean it, but because there's oxide.
Smells metallic too. So whatever
Uh-huh.
you're using to clean must be strong and abrasive, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we can trace maybe the smell and I can check what they used.
No one is paying attention to us, right? Even if we're carrying weapons, well, not me particularly. Like that's
Yeah, no check necessary on this. As you're standing there and seeing movement happening in front of you, it appears as though as you look behind you, there's the same hallway extending further back until it goes off to the left. And you see movement down there and people interacting. You're not being quiet intentionally unless you would like to say you are. No one's paying attention to you.
All right. Well,
Sounds pretty normal to me.
yeah.
Can I maybe check around if we can see maybe some, I don't know, if in a wall or in a door where it can maybe say where are we, if maybe there is an office or a lab, or I don't know.
Actually, I was gonna bring up like, you guys, do we know where we are? Like, what's this?
So, Alex, you can go ahead and make a perception check, but could everyone also make, let's go for knowledge checks. And
Okay, I got a 6.
5.
for perception? Okay.
I have another pretty decent roll. It's 6 on the die and plus 2 on mental, so I get an 8.
I got an 8 also.
I love this die. Mwah.
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 Okay, perfect. And I'm sorry, Amy, what was yours?
5 for knowledge.
Okay. And for knowledge, I'm sorry, Alex, what was your knowledge check?
That's a good question. I didn't roll for
Oh yeah,
knowledge.
sorry.
I'm
Everyone
going
will
to-
make knowledge checks.
Okay, 3 and 6. It's a 6 and a 6. A 6 on perception and a 6 on knowledge.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Now, with this, now for our viewers, I do want to give a bit of insight as to what may be occurring that you're not necessarily seeing. Every single player right now will be getting some messages and communications from me, the Instigator, depending on roles and circumstances with their characters. So there's multiple bits of communication going on. I'll try to make it very expedient so you don't have to be sitting around and not knowing what's happening. However, I'm going to be sending each of you messages right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe probably we're in this. Where are we?
Now, Alex,
Okay.
regarding your perception check, when you were looking around, would you describe what you were doing? Are you going like along the walls? Are you looking for doorways? Are you letting your party know?
Probably I am after I smelled the air and I'm with my briefcase and I kind of like search with or I watch every around me to see if I can find some place that says maybe I don't know infirmary or office or a number or something like that. So I'm trying to catch information from walls and doors and even people if they're dressed in some kind of uniform that I can recognize or that I can maybe say, oh, okay, they're dressed like nurses or they're dressed like an office people or maybe lab people. So I'm trying to catch that kind of information.
Okay, understood. So, Alex, as you're going around and observing the location, looking for signs, looking at the people as they're passing by, what they're wearing, how they're acting and interacting, you do notice that these people seem like they're wearing clothing similar to what you do in your normal day-to-day job.
Okay. Guys, this will sound weird, but I feel like I've been here before. I mean, they're using...
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too.
I also have this impression of already having been here before.
Yeah, I mean, they're using the uniforms that I think I remember that I used for going to work.
Huh.
So I work here? Or... Oh my god, what's going on?
That should mean you could perhaps, guide us through this place. We can navigate this place easily if you know the way, perhaps.
I'm not certain if I know the way, but definitely I've been here and probably I've worked here before.
I mean,
It's
first of
weird.
all, what are we trying to do? Are we trying to get out of this place? Are we supposed to find something in this place? What's the plan? What should we try to do?
I mean, the first thing that you notice is the smell of this place.
Yes.
So
That
since
same
it's
smell.
that intense, probably we need to find the source.
Okay, I can
Because
work with
nobody-
that. Yes,
I mean,
I
nobody
can try to
seems to-
guide you.
Okay,
Should've
do
known
your
this place.
thing, perfume guy.
Now, question, Alex. What is Alex currently wearing? Is she wearing like her normal clothes that she would wear to work?
Probably she's using a lab robe or this this kind of white thing, the
Laptop.
pocket. Yeah.
Okay.
With maybe a pen or if she doesn't have a pen, she probably had. So she had some stains of pens in here, and that's it.
Okay. Now, as this conversation's happening, and Alex makes mention of the fact that this location, the people around her look like where she would work, what's similar. Amy, something stands out about that to you. And the fact that the people that you see walking around look like they're in full uniform.
Oh.
Armed, militant uniforms.
Oh, shit.
Algernon, these people don't look like they're just like Alex to you. They look like they're well-dressed, smooth talkers, very similar to yourself. And Marko, these people, once again, her description's not lining up for you either. Something that you're used to seeing in your own line of work with computers and tech, your associates dress similar to how you're seeing the people around you.
Just to be clear, Alex, were you the one that usually came underdressed to work or something? I mean, I don't want to appear like a rude person, but you said that they look like your coworkers, and I don't know. Do you have a free pass for dressing?
Hey, I know that I look edgy, but I never go underdressed. I'll always wear my lab. My labs.
I mean, I'm asking a fair question because we can all agree that these people look like very well dressed, very like.
You guys are
dressed.
you blind? Like these people are in full uniform, ready for battle. Like,
Wait. What?
Yeah.
No, they are
Battle,
people
no,
from
they're-
labs.
They're wearing like cargo shorts and flip flops. Come on.
Okay, so perhaps I put too much perfume and we are all getting dizzy. We could try to move towards whatever we are looking for, and I don't know.
I would
I'm-
like to approach someone.
Okay. So,
I just grab my club like tighter towards someone. And
okay, so Amy, you're approaching someone, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you start walking down the hallway and heading towards some people that you see speaking with one another, as you're walking, you notice you're hearing your own footsteps, and the footsteps maybe your party members behind you if they're choosing to follow. But then suddenly you hear a light splash.
Oh,
And then
cool.
you look down at your feet.
Oh,
You see on your shoes, boots if you're wearing them,
Yeah.
red. As you're looking behind you, you see bloody footprints on the ground.
oh. Excuse me. Is there still people there?
There are.
Oh. Excuse me. Do they hear me? Bye, guys.
I'm
and
First one gone.
as you look at where your bloody footprints had come from, you notice that there's 3 pools of blood.
Oh.
As you're looking at the ground, now, Algernon, Marko, Alex, were you walking forward as well?
I'm gonna say that I stopped so Amy could have like a conversation without me like nosing in. But
I was basically right next to Amy, I think.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm butting in.
Got it. Marko, Alex?
I am a little bit confused by all that they said, so probably I stopped, and my brain is trying to understand what everybody's saying, so I am like, wait, but he said, and she's just doing this and talking to herself, and just watching how Amy goes and asks someone. So probably I'm standing with Algernon.
Okay. In which case, Marko, if you're moving forward as well, you see what I've described to Amy.
Oh, I see it too.
Yes, you do as well. You see bloody footprints as though you've unintentionally walked through these pools. Going back,
my.
if you were wearing flip-flops, for instance, it's almost like you're feeling the moisture on your feet as well as they've overrun through your flip-flops.
Cute.
And as you're looking back, there's 3 separate pools of blood. Instinctively, as you're blinking, just trying to take it in, suddenly there's 3 forms laying down on the ground in these pools of blood.
Oh my, we got
Faceless.
a code red here, guys. Gold red.
Is it evident for us that they're behaving like differently, or there's something like happening to them that we can't like interact or see?
It seems as though they are witnessing something that at this time you are not.
Do we see
you guys okay?
Looking back, do we see Alex and Algernon?
Yes, you do still see them. It's as though these pools of blood are separating you, these forms with no faces laying there. Although just as quickly as you're noticing these forms, noticing your party member still on the opposite side, and you blink once more, and they're gone. But
you guys okay?
hear a gasp from behind you, Marko and Amy. Marko and Amy.
Wow, what's going on? Still Marcus with me, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna prepare my shotgun, like instantly.
Yeah, I shoulder my rifle.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I just want to tell Alex, if they die first, we are screwed.
Thumbs up.
Okay, so instinctively, as you're readying your weapons and you hear this gasp behind you, are you turning around?
Yeah. Rifle shouldered everything. I'm
Yeah.
aiming down.
So the people that were standing there that you were approaching before, they're all standing completely still. They're focusing on you now, paying attention to you, looking at you in complete and utter fear. They're looking to the ground as though they now see the bodies and the blood, and they start screaming.
We have arms. We have weapons with us.
The group start running down the corridor. I would like everyone, please, to make athletics checks.
So this is where I die. Okay. That's my cue. Got it.
Oh shit, this was not
This is
true.
not good.
4.
4 as well.
4. That's a
3.
good number.
Okay.
Hey, boom.
Alright, yeah.
Alex, she got a
So currently, Alex, you're the one that's going to fail this one. The people that were present start screaming and they start running as fast as they can, quickly as they can, away from you in the corridor. However, the people that were on the opposite end, closer to where Alex and Algernon are, also start rushing. They're following, they're running past. As strange as it is, almost like with this herd mentality. And Alex, you're not noticing fast enough to where you do get knocked over to the ground. And very quickly, as you're hitting the ground, you see red. You feel moisture on your hands and it's like seeping up. You smell blood at this point on you. And in a moment, if you start panicking and start pushing upwards, Algernon, you see her fall to the ground, but you just see her. You see the plain linoleum flooring that's beneath her. And then Alex, just as quickly, the blood is gone.
Can I help her get up?
Yes, you can. No
Okay.
check necessary.
I turn back and Alex, let's go. Whatever it is, things are happening. What are you doing?
Wait, there was
Let's go.
blood in there. Okay. but
There is no
where?
blood. Let's go.
There was blood. Okay, but where?
I don't know. Not here.
Okay. Well, then run then, I guess. I
Can I
take
start
him and then we'll start running.
Running
maybe-
towards Amy and Marko, I guess.
Okay. And Amy and Marko, as this is happening, I know you'd readied your weapons at the time. Were you doing anything in the meantime?
Oh, the gas was coming from the guys that I was trying to talk to, or was like from other side.
Ooh, I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that?
The gasp that we listened before, was that coming from the guys that I wanted to talk, or was from other way?
Yeah, so from the people you were approaching.
Oh, okay. Well, since they were like gasping and I like with my guns, I'm gonna be like, Amy show to the service. What's going on? There was blood in here. There's still blood in there.
While you're looking around, you are not seeing blood anymore at this time. As you're approaching and trying to speak with these people, they're looking at you. They're not responding. They are acknowledging you, but in a fearful manner. and they're actively trying to flee from you.
Don't go.
I say don't do.
I need answers. Don't go.
But as the crowds are starting to move down the hallway, like incredibly quickly, some of them running into one another, knocking others over as Alex was knocked over. Would everyone please make perception checks?
Sure.
Of course. Perceptions.
2.
I got an 8.
8? Okay.
I rolled
4.
really low, guys.
Perception, yeah, it's 1d6 and plus. Yeah, 8.
Okay. Perfect. So, I'm sorry, Marko, what was yours?
4.
A 4? Okay, so anyone that was a 5 or above, you start hearing footsteps. Now, you've been hearing footsteps this whole time with people walking around you, pacing as they weren't initially paying attention. The hurried footfall at this point of people actively rushing away from you, but these are heavy, much heavier than yours or the crowd's. These are coming from behind you.
We are aware of the
Echo.
beast, right?
Oh, what was that?
We are aware of the beast.
Yes. So the beast is this ever-present, ever-looming threat. Amorphous. No one's given you an answer as to what it is, but it's like that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you know something isn't quite right.
Ooh.
Are we having that feeling right now?
Do we feel that right now?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Run, guys, let's run.
I will follow the crowd running.
I'm just gonna try to grab not Alex's hand, but her wrist, and like just to pull her and start running.
Okay. And Marko, are you also running with the group?
Do I notice them like running?
Yes, I would say you would notice them running at this
Okay.
point.
I'm the last one to
Notice
notice
he's
them.
not running.
I'm the last one to notice them running. Oh,
What
Oh,
are
we're
you
going.
waiting for? Let's go!
Run, Marko!
Okay, so
I,
as
I,
the
fl-
group...
I fling my flip flops away. Like I can't run with this.
So now just feet hitting linoleum at this point. No need for flip-flops. You're running forward and following this crowd. As you're moving quickly, going around a corner to the right, suddenly you're not seeing the group that was in front of you before. You're seeing an additional empty corridor, leading forward probably a solid 50 feet.
Wow.
Everyone that was running is gone.
Oh, shit.
You're hearing footsteps once
These
more.
guys are fast. There's like no way. It's like a dead end, right?
Not dead end, it goes down about another 50 feet.
Oh, okay.
As
Cool.
I'm
Let's-
running,
Let's
Can I
go
just,
another
like-
50 feet.
look towards Marko and are those guns for show, or can you actually use them?
We'll find out. Maybe.
Okay, then show us.
Now, as you're starting to move forward, continuing down this like I said, 50-foot corridor, there's a bit of a strange pressure each of you are feeling. Let's say, Amy, you're feeling pressure around your wrists as you're running forward. Difficult to place why there's pressure there when you're looking down and you're not seeing anything.
Oh, they're trying to.
Marko, there's a high-pitched sound that's just catching your ear. It doesn't seem to be going away. It just as quickly disappears. Alex, you're feeling as though there's pressure around your temples. Algernon, you feel like you keep hearing a beep, steady, repetitively. And as this movement is occurring, you get down to the end of the hallway. And as you're approaching it, who is leading the charge at this point?
Probably Amy.
Probably.
Amy. Okay. So, Amy, you're
She's
the
all
first
but
to
fast.
arrive to this location. As you're getting there, just maybe a few feet in front of the next person, you're hearing the familiar buzz on your glasses. and you get a message that shows up.
Oh.
I will send it to you.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
but as you're getting to this end, everyone does see a once more familiar projection appear in front of you, just as it did when Algernon approached the door previously. But rather than having two options, you see now that company has been selected. It's grayed out. Now, isolation.
Oh.
Cool.
Shit, so that means that we're going to go separate ways now?
I guess so. Like, there's no other option. Do we still hear the?
You are hearing increasingly sounds of heavier footsteps approaching.
Okay, you know
Quickly.
what? Fuck it. And I open the door and I enter because I don't want to see the beast or whatever that's going on a
Awesome.
pursuit after us.
And it's almost like as you're standing there, this brief interaction taking place, that footstep getting heavier and heavier, that ticking of a clock being more rapid.
Oh shit.
Now, each of you, as you're starting to walk forward, are getting some different messages across your respective glasses. I will send to each of you.
The old lady, I say, wait.
Depending
Yeah.
on
Who's that?
and
Kill John Lennon.
John Lennon. Oh my gosh. Perfect. Okay. And now, as that selection is made, and very similarly, although Alex initially just trying to go forward to fling open a door, as you all are stepping forward, it's like that same feeling of your consciousness just disconnecting and coming back. And suddenly your surroundings have changed once more. Now, an eerie silence is taken over in the room surrounding you. At first, your surroundings are entirely pitch black. And then a bright flash of light makes the stark white room visible. You notice a large looming figure standing at the opposite side of this room. Its form seemingly that of a shadow. It appears humanoid, but easily twice your size. If you had to guess, this room is probably 30 feet by 30 feet. Plain white floor, ceiling, and walls. There's no visible light sources, no windows. And as you glance behind you, no doors. You notice a thin black line on the floor about a foot in front of that figure on the opposite side, and one about 10 feet in front of you.
She's alone right now?
You all are present.
Oh, okay.
Together.
You are together currently.
We're not isolated. Well, kind of. Oh.
You are in light of recent events, we are all seeing the same thing, right? There is something right there.
I don't know.
Correct?
Are we dead? Is this God?
If we are going to die, I need to tell you this, Marko. And I look directly towards Marko. La Passion is the best perfume you can buy. So if you get out of here, try to get that one. It's the best bang for your buck, as you Americans say. That is.
Are you a salesman?
Right.
You're a salesman.
Yeah, it's all I have to say. I am passing my knowledge to you so it doesn't get lost in the waves of time. And yes, I look again towards the looming figure clutching my improvised club.
Now, as you're looking over at this figure, Algernon, are you walking forward towards it, or are you just observing it from a distance?
Perhaps not forward, but I'm like slowly circling around it.
Okay. So, as you start walking forward, and this figure is seemingly about again, 30 feet away from you. Once you cross over that thin black line that's about 10 feet in front of you, you notice something out of the corner of your peripheral vision. What looked like a flat ceiling is much higher up from this angle. As you look up, you see it probably goes up about 60 feet.
Right.
You can see your reflection, as though the surface is almost a mirror. As you're starting to walk in, you notice that the figure starts to walk forward with each step you take past that line.
Or towards me or towards them?
Which way are you going in direction with circling, to your left or to your right?
I'm gonna say to my left.
To your left? It seems to be walking to the right.
So every movement that we make, it's like a mirroring thing?
Mirroring thing.
It appears to be mirroring Algernon currently.
We
Okay.
heard... I'm sorry.
Okay, do this, Algernon. Do like, try to say hello.
Wait, yeah. Also, just to be clear, we all heard the clock sound, like the ticking sound?
Yes, you all were hearing the ticking.
Ah,
But
okay.
currently not. It's very quiet.
Silent.
Okay, so I hear Alex's suggestion, so I'm gonna. All right. Salut.
As you're waving at it, the figure stands. It doesn't proceed forward or retreat. It just stays.
If I walk to just a couple steps away from Philippe, and not Philippe, Algernon, does that thing move as well?
I'm very sorry, Amy, were you moving in?
Yeah, I'm moving just a couple steps away from Algernon. Algernon, sorry.
As you start walking in, it doesn't move.
Okay.
What happens if I walk? I take one step towards it. Like we were here, and I moved like to my left. I mean, there's the image is mirrored, so but I want to go directly towards it to see what happens when I do that.
Understood.
You die. That's what happens.
Bye.
Perhaps.
Immediate death. As you start walking forward, and Amy's also present in this area with you, its movement has stopped.
Oh.
You're moving towards it, and it stays present in its place.
We are past that line that we saw on the. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell that information to Marko and Alex since they haven't moved, so they haven't seen the ceiling changes.
Yes.
It stretches and it's reflective, and so I'm assuming Amy she sees this too, right? Because she's like standing right besides me.
Yeah, as she starts progressing further into the room, the angle at which she's looking at the ceiling is different. She's able to see it's further up at this point, about 60 feet. And you just see yourself, your own reflection in it.
Is there a reflection to the creature, entity, whatever we're looking at on the ceiling?
Algernon, would you go ahead and make a knowledge check for me?
Damn it.
There is a reason for this. It's not just as simple as you no longer have vision.
Oh! So it's a 5. 3 on the die, plus 2, yeah, it's 5.
Okay, perfect. So I would say that's enough. Algernon, as you are walking in initially and kind of glancing up, taking notice of your own reflection, you recall that you saw the figure. It's hard for you to recall where specifically it was in the reflection. But looking up now, it's no longer there.
Oh, great.
I immediately tell that information to all of my friends.
Okay.
Colleagues.
But that the creature is still there. It's just not the reflection, right? Okay.
Okay,
Perhaps.
I'm going to do something very stupid, probably.
Great.
So I'm going to, since they're close to the creature or entity or whatever that it is, but they haven't touched it. So I'm going to go forward and I'm going to reach my hand to try to see if it's if it's physical or maybe I don't know what it's made or what maybe it's an hallucination, or I don't know. I want to see if it is really there.
Okay. So Alex, as you're entering and moving forward,
You let us know that you're doing that.
Probably you'll see that she's going forward to the thing. So.
Yeah, so as you see, Alex is moving forward, unless anyone is taking any action to try to prevent her from going forward.
I'm fixated on trying to like locate the reflection so I don't pay attention to what Alex is doing.
I will try to stop her. Like, Miss, what are you doing?
We need to see if that thing is real or what's made of, or maybe
Alex,
it's an hologram or something.
I have another suggestion. What happens if someone stands directly beneath where the original creature or the reflection of the creature was originally?
You want me to do that?
I mean, it's better than to try to touch it.
We don't know, but okay. So I stop whatever that I was going to do, and then I do what Algernon is suggesting for us to do.
And so, Algernon, you were wanting to have someone stand where the figure was once standing, correct? In the reflection?
Yes.
Okay. The check earlier, you recall seeing a reflection. You don't recall specifically where, however.
Okay.
I would like to shout to the creature.
God damn
Hey! Hello? You creepy big thing. Hello?
How is that going to help anything?
It doesn't do anything anyway.
True. Hi!
Yelling at it, there doesn't really seem to be any type of response from it.
I want to ask something like using my chemistry knowledge. Is that a vapor or maybe smoke or?
I smell it.
No, that's something that you.
What
would
does
do.
he smells like?
I want to see if maybe it matches some kind of maybe mix of elements of the periodic table. I don't know.
Okay.
If it's a mixture of something that I know.
Okay. Go ahead and have it be a science check, Alex.
Yes, that's something that I do have. Okay. Okay, that's a 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11.
11. Okay, so more than enough. As you're looking at it, thinking back on your extensive knowledge when it comes to chemicals and how they would appear, especially in with gaseous forms.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't appear to be quite within that realm. This appears as though it's once more similar to just a shadow that's being cast. But rather than just two-dimensional, looks like it's a form.
So it's not a vampire.
It's not a vampire.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions, just to be clear. So, the first time we crossed one of the two lines you mentioned, it's when it began to move, and then it hasn't moved since, even if I move or I don't know, anyone else's moves. So can I go towards the other line and try to cross it?
Yeah, if you want to start continuing moving forward and crossing the line that was initially just a bit in front of this large figure, you're able to. The setting itself doesn't change. It's just differently colored tile.
I tell them that.
You notice, though, as you do walk over to that opposite side of the room, a small screen appear.
Oh, screen.
Yeah, as you're looking at it once more, it's just those same two options before. Company or isolation. But neither are able to be selected.
Oh, so it's not deja vu.
We chose isolation for this room, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the
Yeah.
only option.
Perhaps there's something to do with it.
Oh, this guy is really isolated, I think.
Well, no, but we have been trying to do this as a team, like move forward in group. Perhaps we have to do things individually to achieve something. Because in the other room, we all moved together and something happened. Now we are trying to do the same thing, but we chose isolation and we are not really acting isolated. This is like a wild guess, but perhaps that should be an indication for whatever we have to do. I don't know. Because when I moved alone, that thing moved.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's
What you have of beauty, you have of intelligence. Really good. Okay.
What happens if we all move towards a different towards a different section of the room, like north, south, east, west? We can try.
Well, it's that, or either we do nothing. So I start walking towards one direction, maybe, I don't know, south. I choose south.
I haven't moved at all. I'm still behind that first line.
You stay there.
Yeah.
So as Alex is moving towards the south, Algernon, you're already at the opposite side. Marko's still where you had initially appeared in this room. Amy, you notice, because you're still in that center area, once Alex has exited onto the opposite side of the line, any movement, if you're starting to walk towards the opposite side of the room, is now being mirrored once more by this figure.
Cool. I'm gonna wait.
Once more, the figure is standing still. Would you go ahead and make a knowledge check for me?
Okay. That's a 5.
5. Okay. Amy, as you're looking at this form, it's like a sense of cold comes over you. It's the sound of gunfire, the sound of screams. You start feeling pressure around your wrists again. And just as quickly, silence. Then footsteps, as you see Alex taking the last few steps over towards the corner.
Okay. First, like Amy's footsteps, or like another thing footsteps?
It was definitely Alex's footsteps.
Okay. We're fine. We're cool, guys.
The pressure.
Okay, I let everyone know that, like, what did I feel just right now, like, oh, it's kind of chill, you guys, and kind of like really confused, like I hear things. I think those are familiar, but
what did you do differently?
Stay here.
Okay, so we have to go one by one near the thing.
But if you were the one that moved and she stayed where she was, why did she have that hallucination?
Because she stayed there.
Yeah.
Are the thin lines in a box shape, or is it just two?
There's two thin lines. It does seem to make the this rectangular center area more defined. It extends from one side of the room to the opposite.
Well, you wanna try, guys?
Marko, perhaps.
Okay, so who's next?
Who's next? Who's next in line?
Who's going to die first?
I'll go die.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna change places with Marko.
Right, so Amy, as you're moving, are you going towards the opposite end of the room or back towards where Marko is?
I'm going right towards Marko.
Right towards Marko? Okay. So as you start moving backwards towards Marko, that figure starts moving further away from you, backwards towards the opposite side of the room.
Okay.
And then once you cross over the line, it crosses back over. Algernon, since you're already over there, this figure essentially has moved just across from you, right nearby. standing immediately in front of that line once more.
Guys, I don't know what you're doing,
Touch
but
it.
perhaps not.
Touch it.
Do you touch it, Algernon?
I mean, you can
No, why
choose
not?
to.
I mean, at this point, I'm gonna try to first poke it with the leg of the chair I had.
All right.
Yes. So as you're going through and poking at this figure with the somewhat bent metal frame of an old chair, it's almost like there's no resistance to it whatsoever. It just goes into the form, but you feel a sense of cold, of dread. As you're standing there, you start getting glimpses back. The white hallways that you just ran down. Although as you looked around, your acquaintances, party members, if you will, weren't there in this memory. And you remember hearing screams again. Heavy footsteps. As you pull back the metal frame, that feeling goes away.
Huh. So it was the same thing we'd already experienced, but without my friends, correct?
It does seem that way.
And so I'm trading places with Amy, all crossed past the line.
So Marko, as you start walking in, now this is your first time going across the line, no longer with shoes on. Your feet are feeling like very cold linoleum beneath you. As you're moving forward, each step you notice that as your right foot falls down, the figure, its right foot falls down. Your left, its left. It starts moving, mirroring your actions, and you're finally getting a view of now seeing your party members on either side and looking up the extending upwards of 60 feet until that mirrored surface.
All right. I'm going to kind of strafe like as best as I can, like left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Does that, I know it mirrors my movement, does it mirror that movement on this side of the line, like in our rectangle?
Oh, while you're in the rectangle with it?
Okay, so it's with me in the rectangle.
Yeah, it's with you in the rectangle. It steps in as you step in. As Amy had stepped out, it stepped out on the opposite
I'm gonna
side.
stand. So Amy's there. Algernon is across.
Yeah.
Alex was on the right side
Yes.
in the square.
No longer in the square. She's gone to like the southmost corner.
Okay. I'll go opposite of Alex to like the north corner.
North. Okay. So as you're starting to walk in that direction and you're looking up and you're seeing your reflection moving and the figure that's starting to move towards you, it's coming closer and closer. If you're going to that northern corner, you're going to intersect with this. Would you choose to continue?
That always tells you in video games if you want to continue.
I see the loading, the little circles.
Yeah.
Quick save.
What's the checkpoint?
Oh god.
Save us.
And I noticed that the stick went through like with no resistance, as if it's just shadow.
Yes.
Right.
Guys, earlier when I touched it with the stick, I had a vision of the same room we were before, but I was alone.
Okay, right before we intercept, I kind of face Alex and I take my rifle out. And I aim straight down and go right above her towards the glass and shoot.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
So, Marko, I'm gonna have you. Oh goodness, let's do a D12 roll.
Oh boy.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
I'm gonna shatter your reflection of your
10.
10. Okay. let's see here. A little different than combat. So that's enough.
Okay.
As you're looking up to hit the glass above you, and it's the reflection that you're going for, correct? The mirrored surface?
Yeah, the mirrored surface.
Okay, so successful. You're firing off. You hear the reverberation. This is a very compact room considering the amount of sound that's about to happen. So, first of all, Marko, would you also make an observation check for me as you're doing this?
Fishy and I are like in the same position right now.
Yeah.
Because we cannot believe what's going on.
9.
Okay, 9. So we'll revisit that in just a moment. You fire up. The gunshot is heard echoing like an immense level of noise in this small room, then only met by the sound of a shattering of glass as it comes falling down onto the center area where Marko and that figure are. You do notice that there's sections of it that are still present up there. And Marko, I'm having you make a lot of checks, I apologize. Would you also make a athletics check? This is mostly to see if you can dodge any of these pieces that are falling.
It's gonna be a no. It's not good. A 2?
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no.
Okay, so do this. Okay, Marko. Since you are taking damage and you do not have armor,
I was joking about the I'll die first.
go ahead and roll 1d4 for me.
Okay. Roll bad. 1.
1. Okay, so very lucky for that roll. You are going to take 1 point. You'll lose 1 health point. And you are going to lose 1 stress point as you're struck with fear. As you see the glass shards that are falling down around you and overwhelmed by the amount of noise that's just happened.
Alright. 2 health, yeah.
But Marko, also when you had just been looking up and looking at your own reflection before you pulled the trigger to fire upwards, you can recall that while you see yourself and you see the reflection of this figure, where the figure is currently standing is not where he was in the reflection. He was standing where you had initially entered in from.
Where Amy is.
Huh.
Are you choosing to continue walking forward?
Well, now I feel dumb because I should have noticed it before. I'm gonna keep going forward.
Okay. And also, while Marko is doing this, can everyone make perception checks for me except for Marko?
6. 9.
3.
4.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Just a grandma. Bear with me.
1 second. As Marko is starting to move forward, you're going to be essentially walking through this figure that you are face to face with, for lack of a better term, as it doesn't really have a face for you to be gazing on. The cold that was described earlier to a couple of your party members is what overtakes you again. It's cold, you're feeling nervous, you're feeling a like sweat dripping down from your forehead for a moment, as it's almost like time has slowed down with this next step moving through. You hear the sound of your firearm going off once more, but it sounds as though it was fired in a place not as constrained, as it's not as tight. It's not the fire that you just had. But as you step forward once more, now you're seeing Algernon on the opposite side. And if you look over your shoulder, the figure is behind you, facing towards where Amy is.
Cool.
Can I intercede?
Okay.
Yes, Algernon?
I just scream, pointing at a specific direction, and I just say, there, right there. Do you see it? So you see it, and I'm pointing towards a very specific place near Marko.
Oh,
I mean,
There's
if
a
we
shadow
look,
right there.
Alex and Amy, you don't see what Algernon has just
Yeah.
described.
do I see a creature beside me?
Beside you?
Yeah, you said that the creature. Did I understand that right? Like the.
Oh, so he's essentially facing you now. He's probably 5 steps away. He and Marko have essentially just walked through one another.
Okay.
So no one seems to notice, correct?
No. And
I don't know
Algernon,
what you're
as you're
talking.
pointing it out, you're now seeing Marko standing there sweating a little bit. And then you just see the shadowy figure behind him.
I'm gonna see what plays out. Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
No.
I mean, no one's paying attention to me. No. Out of sheer
I mean,
desperation, I'm just gonna like grab my. Well, I have my my improvised club in my right hand, so I'm just gonna fling it all across the room towards where I saw whatever I think I saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Go
Cool.
ahead and let's just have this be a
FYI, guys, athletics or moreover physical attributes are my worst attributes. So if I hit someone in the face with my club, I apologize in advance.
I probably would,
You're gonna
given
knock
this is
me
like an
out.
improvised weapon. I'm gonna have it be athletics.
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean,
We're cool, guys.
5. I mean,
Oh,
total.
Five?
My
Okay,
plus
so
one,
yeah, I would say Algernon, as you're starting just to throw out of sheer frustration this chair frame that you had, Marko, could you make
oh.
a yeah, I'm gonna have this be an athletics check.
Oh boy.
Adios, Marco.
2 athletics checks back to back.
Recuérdame.
7.
7. Okay, since it's higher than what the other athletics check was, you're able to dodge quickly out of the way as you just sort of duck, and you hear the clattering of this frame hitting the ground on the opposite side. Alex, Amy, you see that Algernon has just taken this chair frame and thrown it, narrowly missing Marko as it flies across the room onto the floor.
man, what you doing?
I'm
I
just yelling
saw
out, what the
something, no one-
fuck?
No, I saw something. I swear to God, there is something near you. Some kind of Can I see the reflection of whatever the shadow or whatever thing I saw near
There's no
Marko?
mirror anymore.
Near Marko.
Yeah.
So as you're like getting closer to line and looking up towards this like higher ceiling, well, I'm gonna roll a d12 because significant portions of it are missing at this point.
Whoops.
The area that you're looking for, you're not seeing a reflection. You see a section of it where you now see Marko standing.
Are there pieces of the ceiling on the floor where he shot?
Yeah, there's large chunks of glass that have since gone to the ground.
Huh. Can I take one of the glass?
You will
Like
have
a
to enter.
sizable
that
chunk?
stable mine.
Yeah, you would have to, like Amy's pointing out, you would have to enter into this center area.
Yeah,
of the
I'll do
room.
it. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. So as you enter into the center area, you notice there's no movement from this figure at this point. It almost just freezes, even more so in place than it was before. You're able to go over and you get a sizable chunk of glass, reflective in nature. Looking up, you just see that the sections that are missing just look like there's a darker surface that it was attached to.
What happens if I point my glass towards, like the reflective side, towards the shadow, towards the creature?
As you point it out and kind of like, are you trying to catch its reflection in it?
Yeah. So it sees its reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
As you're holding it out, No reaction.
What happens if I do my reflection?
If you look at yourself in this mirror, you see yourself. A handsome guy.
And finally, what happens if I point it towards Marko in the general direction where I saw the shadow?
As you're pointing it over towards Marko, you're seeing him and his figure, and just at a certain angle, you see this dark, like this shadowy figure you still see in front of you. But you're not noticing that there's anything else. The figure you thought you saw, that additional shadow, is no longer present.
I would like to also grab a piece of the mirror.
Isolation.
Yeah.
So Amy, as you walk into this area, you're able to get a good chunk of the mirror sharp.
And I'm gonna just go again to my initial place to respect this isolation thing. But still, I'm gonna try to watch through the mirror.
Going to try to touch the creature or the shadow with my hand.
With your
What
hand?
the hell?
You? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Algernon. That feeling that you had before just seems a bit more amplified. The memory, the recollection, you're hearing it once more. You're feeling as though you know that you are in yourself right now. Your sense of in this room. It's like you're also recalling the exact feeling of your running, your heart beating faster, you hearing screams that are happening, and then as you pull your hand out, that feeling goes away. But each time you touch this figure, you feel like you're reliving something.
I'm just going to give my friends one last look, and then I'm gonna dive completely into the shadow.
Oh shit.
Not only my hand, but I'm gonna go towards the shadow.
Okay.
Okay.
So, as Algernon's doing that feeling overtakes you once more. Are you just intending to stand in its place?
Yes.
So, everyone who is currently around, Marko, Alex, Amy, you see Algernon just step into the area the shadow is occupying. And you might hear a gasp from him, but you still hear just heavy breathing, as though it sounds like he's panting, like he's winded, as though he's been running. Algernon, you're just on a cycle, a loop. You're remembering some of the messages that you've seen across. Your glasses come up. And then you remember, as you were running through the hallways, scrawled notes. Just mention beast. What is the beast? Escape the beast. But as you're standing there, Marko, Alex, Amy, you just see him present in that location. He doesn't seem to be hurt, but definitely seems to be distraught.
Okay.
I run towards Algernon to see him, and I kind of ask, dude, you okay?
Does she?
What happened?
Can I answer her, or I'm
you have still a vague sense of what's occurring around you. At this point, it sounds muffled. If you try to step out in either direction out of this figure, you'll be able to hear her clearly.
Can I grab her and pull her towards me?
You can. Alex, are you going to try to resist if you see an arm moving towards you?
I suppose not, because I am more worried about how I see him. So if he kind of grabs me and pulls me, I'm going to act like a ragdoll, I guess.
Okay. So Amy, you're on the opposite side. You're seeing as Alex is starting to move forward, and then Algernon grabbing towards her. Marko, if you've been looking and turning around to see what's happening behind you, any movement that you're making is no longer mirrored by this shadow. It stopped as soon as Algernon came into the space. However, Alex, as you're pulled in and like you feel Algernon's hands as he's grasping around your arms and pulling you in, you feel that he is also present here. But you start thinking about old memories, like flashes of this room. You've seen this mirrored surface. You've seen this shadowed form. Your heart's beating faster, and it's almost like you recall an etching in the mirror. What is the beast? As you're standing here, you just hear like kind of the muffled sounds of anything occurring outside where Marko and Amy are present. And you hear Algernon is still very much winded, as though he's currently running, like breathing, gasping for air. Although he's very much just standing in the same place as you are.
Nice. We lost 2 guys.
Do you choose to move out of this space, or are you going to stay in it?
Oh God. I think I'm going to stay there to see if I can recall something more of this space.
Okay. In which case, Alex, would you go ahead and make a knowledge check for me? Or survival, either one.
It's a 6.
A 6, okay. So in glimpses of like these feelings of like memory, as though it's strange, it's almost like you're watching other figures as you had remembered entering into this space. Figures that look different than like Marko, Algernon, and Amy, but nondescript. You're not able to make like any type of features from them. You see one person stepping in as the shadow moves towards it. You see it move to the right as it moves to the left, mirroring the exact movements. And then you see it end in a particular place. And then that's where your memory stops.
Okay, so can I just kind of pull him and then get out of the same space that we're sharing?
Yeah, essentially, because you're within this, like, I would say it's probably like 3 foot by 3 foot area. So 2 people are able to be in here, just albeit very close to one another. If you're going to try to back up and pull Algernon with you, Algernon, are you trying to resist?
No.
Okay, so you both are pulled out easily enough from here. Marko and Amy, you now see their forms completely out of the shadowy figure, which is standing resolute. And you see them almost coming back to their surroundings. You now are seeing and hearing like not that same panting sound.
Okay, Alex, what did you saw when you touch the shadow?
I think that this have happened before, but I don't know if not with us, but with other people. The same thing in this room.
Okay, I saw a completely different thing. I was in a completely different room. So perhaps if we all touch this shadow, we'll see different things. There's something we are not understanding, and it has something to do with isolation. And I don't know if we get isolated each time someone touches this shadow by themselves, or we have to touch it at the same time. I don't know, but you definitely saw something I didn't. So, care to try, Marko and Amy? Should we try this?
At this point, Amy was just like pointing to the creature with her shotgun, just in case it kind of like reacts or something, but just like really in a defensive mode, you know, but listening to what they say. And she kind of like slowly, but yet still like pointing to creature, you know, with her shotgun, just approach the other guys to try to watch something on the shadow space weird thing.
It worked better when I went in. If I touch it, I saw things and I had these sensations. But when I went in, it was very different. It was overpowering. I was there.
It
I
was
relived
like
these things.
it was like living it again or having
Yes,
vivid memories.
quite.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Should we
Yeah,
try to
I'll
like
just
all get into
walk
the
in.
shadow?
Marko, you're just walking in?
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk in.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. So, Marko, as you go back into the shadowy figure, because you've already entered it at one point so far as you passed through it, as it was mirroring your movements walking to the area which you have entered. As you walk back in, you notice it's, again, no longer moving to mirror your own. As you walk back in, it's that same cold sense of dread. It's the sound of footsteps that you heard before, heavy, loud, ominous. It's rapid alerts coming across your glasses that you had received before, questions, statements, mentions of shadows. And then you're remembering a room like this. Actually, no, you're fairly certain it is this room. The same mirrored surface. And while you saw a figure walking in and the shadow mirroring it, there was always a point as to where it ended. Before you remembered another room. As you open your eyes in that other room, it's momentary. It's bigger, but it disappears.
You're done?
Do you choose to stay in it or do you step out?
I'll step out.
Okay.
Well, I guess this is my turn. You know, I have seen many things, but you know, what else I can see? I'm just gonna step on.
And Amy stepping into it, still having your firearm in your hand, just walking forward into it. It's
safe.
Again cold surrounding you. It's moisture that you feel on your hands and on your cheek as you look down and you recall the red that was on you, the blood that you'd fallen in at one point before.
Right.
Similar to when you recall seeing Alex fall.
Right.
But it's the sound of footsteps running around you, running away from you. And then it ends.
Is she still inside the shadow?
Yes.
Okay, I look at Alexis and Marko, and I just ask, I think we should try to get in. What happens if we all get our visions at the same time? Yeah, I just want to try it. Yeah, he has the right idea.
Let's give it a
Group
try.
hug.
I go in.
It's time for a group
hug,
hug.
Okay.
Let's hug the old lady, everybody at the same time.
And as you all go in for essentially a group hug in the midst of the shadow, I think this may be a good time for us to take a quick break.
Damn it!
See what happens next. So we'll probably take a really quick, let's see, 10-minute break around now. I thought it'd be a good point narratively to stop. And then we should be back again in about 10 minutes to see what happens as a group hug happens in the middle of the shadow. That's not what I expected to say during this session, but here we are. So,
In a group hug.
thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back soon.
Yay.
Awesome. Hello, welcome back, everyone. We are going to be diving back in after our short break of back into Echo Chamber, this Medula one-shot. So before we left, our party was in the middle, or I should say our anomalies were in the middle of embracing one another in a group hug in this ominous, shadowy figure that they've been dealing with for a bit. As they're starting to enter into this space, while smaller in area, occupying it together, it's that same, and I will say this goes for everyone, that same overwhelming feeling of cold around you. And much like your memories that you had before when you stepped in, you're starting to relive those now, whether that be seeing this figure previously, seeing other forms that were walking with it and having it mirror them. Running when you were down in the corridor from earlier, seeing blood on the floor and seeing the 3 lifeless forms with no faces, seeing scrawling of what is the beast on repeat as you're all standing in the space and occupying it. But other than that, nothing else new seems to be happening. What would you like to do?
We're hugging each other. Does something happen when everyone is like in the same, this space?
Nothing new.
Nothing new. Okay.
You're all very close to one another now.
Yeah, cool. I'm just gonna let everyone know what I saw on like my vision. So yeah, that it was basically the bloody stains on the floor. That's pretty much it. Well, some things there.
I mean, I just saw the previous room. I was running through it, and well, there is nothing particular that can. I don't see what kind of information could I extrapolate from that for this room in particular.
Basically, we're watching the same thing over and over. So
over again, yes. I would say, for instance, Marko, I believe you'd previously in your vision been in this room, and while you'd been standing back, you remember seeing another figure walking into the space. Underneath the mirror, as you watched it move forward 2 steps, the shadowy figure move forward 2 steps. Off to the left, as you see the shadow move to the right. And eventually, as it walked around, there was a moment as to where it ended and where it disappeared. And you remember the reflection that you saw above you before you fired at the glass. And where that figure was seen to be reflected, even though it was standing immediately in front of you.
I'll recall that vision, and I'll do exactly what the vision person did, like even the 2 steps and all that, like everything.
Perfect. So, Marko, as you exit out of this figure, has everyone else exited from it?
Yeah. Probably we just like
this is stupid, stop hugging me.
First pushed one another away from each other. I would say you notice similar to how earlier on you noticed this figure stopped moving when there was more than one person in its vicinity. So as you're moving right now, if your party is still present, it is standing resolute.
All right. I'll tell go wait behind the line.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Go behind. Well, I go behind the line.
Everybody, or just Alex?
Everybody.
Okay, yeah. So I follow his instructions.
And as Amy, Alex, Algernon, if you go and exit and go onto the opposite side of that line, Marko, as you start stepping maybe off to the left, you see this figure begins moving you once more, once you're in isolation. So, do you continue moving in that pattern as you'd seen before?
Yeah, I'll do the whole every single step I did.
And now, as you start making those steps, mirroring the movements as it ends, where you are standing just a few feet away from the opposite side of the room, as to which you'd entered, where Algernon had seen that pop-up appear. This new projection appears once more, and the shadowy figure behind you, Alex, Algernon, Amy, you would see the figure disappears once it ends in that spot. Now, you hear a familiar buzz and some messages appear for each of you.
Oh.
Okay.
Here.
It's the same messages as before.
Sunday, monster
New.
trucks.
It may be the same, it may be new. I'll be sending them to you individually.
Mine's a commercial for socks.
And Marko, since you're closest to the opposite side of the room at this point where this projection had appeared, those two options that were grayed out before, it's almost like a circle appears, like a loading sign circling. And then a new button. A single one, nondescript.
I press it. I don't even
words.
read it.
No words on it to be read. As you press it before, it's like your vision goes black for a second. Everyone in the room.
Okay.
Oh.
Not just yours, Marko.
All right. If everyone's dead,
Everyone's
it's fine.
vision goes black.
I scream.
You hear the screaming and like the echoing of Algernon's voice behind you, appearing both very, it sounds to be distant, but also very close at the same time. It's the strange duality of both senses. And then as you start, if you start moving forward at all, or just kind of feeling for what's around you, the ground feels different beneath your feet. You hear the sound of footsteps around you. You hear the sound of what appear to be like multiple sets of feet that are falling, and your vision comes back.
Okay.
You see yourself in a much larger room. Marko, you would recognize from your earlier memories that were fading quickly, but then coming back in spurts, that after that figure had gone away before, you'd recall this new room appeared, and this is the room you are now standing in. Now this room is large, it's expansive, it's open. Still nondescript. You start feeling this aching sense of dread in your stomach once more. And you see 4 figures standing opposite of you. A message appears, and this will be the same for everyone, so I won't send it in the chat. Safety from the beast can be guaranteed for a time. Kill them.
Oh, shoot.
There's 4 figures in front of me.
There are 4 figures in front of you.
They're fire.
Okay, so in which case, that's going to start combat. So we'll go ahead and roll initiative. So the party will need to choose one person to be rolling a d12, and it'll be against my roll as well.
I could do it.
You could do it. Okay, do it.
Just
I
roll.
believe in you.
I have to add.
Do it, handsome
just
guy.
Like only the die, right? I don't have to add anything else.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's
So,
just the die.
11.
Okay.
12.
Party will be going first.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
now with this, the party will get to be choosing the order of their attacking, and you'll get three things you can do per action. So your main action, so like using your weapon, grappling somebody, firing your gun, of course. Your secondary action, which could be creative about it. If there's like surroundings you want to interact with or something that's not necessarily like a check that you see on your sheet, present it and I'll give you either an applicable roll or a freebie. And then relocation, so you get to move around. Pretty much just that. What order would the group like to go in? You do get to choose.
I mean,
We could-
go for it, Marko. I'd say Marko.
Yeah, I shot first, so
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Okay, so first is going to be Marko. Who's after Marko?
Amy?
Amy, yeah.
Amy. And after Amy?
Alex.
Okay, well then I guess I'll go.
And
And then
then
at the end.
I'll go last. Yeah.
You coward.
No, I just want to know what I can do. I need to know. I mean,
Sure.
with the current I don't know circumstances, there's not really much I can do. I don't have a weapon, but if things start like flowing, perhaps I'll figure
You
out.
throw your only weapon.
Yeah,
Perfume's actually
get it.
like liquid explosives.
I have to go get it back. Yeah, I need my club.
Okay, so these shadowy figures are not nearly as large as the one that you'd gone against, or not even gone against, but had just seen in that other room. They are standing immediately opposite you. Almost say if you're all standing essentially in a line, you see one across from each of you. To put it simply, let's say that as you're looking in through your glasses, you do notice that there's like some notice. While you're not seeing descriptors on these people, they're otherwise featureless shadows, but you can assign a number 1, 2, 3, and 4 to them to describe which of these you are interacting with or firing at. So Marko, since you said you were going to be shooting your firearm,
Yeah.
which of these would you like to be shooting at?
Whoever is the one on the left, we'll go left to right.
Left to right?
Yeah.
Okay, that one. Go ahead and let's see here. Make your roll. That's going to be your, let's see here. Sorry. I believe it's your D6 plus your, or is it, I'm sorry, is it a D6 roll with this, or is it a D12?
I'm not sure.
For attacks, I think it's
Yes.
a D12.
D12, okay, perfect.
But yeah, 1d12 plus attribute plus item bonus.
Yes.
Okay. 2 plus. What's the plus 3 for my rifle? 5.
Okay, so as you're
I'm
taking...
gonna risk and do a reroll.
Okay, awesome.
Oh.
Go ahead and do reroll.
First of the game, yeah.
2 again.
Cool. Okay. Ouch. Okay, so as you are reaching out and firing, even taking a moment to try to steady yourself and like get a more precise shot, you feel like at the last moment a twitch in your arm as it fires off and narrowly misses. So that's your primary action or your main action. Do you have any secondary actions you would like to take or relocation?
I'm gonna relocate behind Alex and hand her my gun. My handgun. Nah, screw it. I'll give her my rifle.
Okay, so now I have a rifle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want it
Okay,
back. It has my name.
Okay, no, that's fine. How many?
It literally has his name on it.
I know. It does a damage of the what?
1d8 on the rifle.
1d8. Okay. Excellent.
So next up is Amy. What will you be doing?
So I'm gonna try to shoot with my shotgun at the same guy that Marko tried to.
Okay.
So it's the 12. Oh no, that was a 1. plus 2.
Risk it.
No.
You're not gonna risk it?
Oh no, wait, but plus the for the damage is at 1d8.
40 I don't know. What?
No.
Live again.
Sorry, I'm kind of getting confused here. So for the hit, it's gonna be a 1d12 plus the modifier that I have from my. Okay, so that will be a 3.
3. So you rolled a 1, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're
A
rolling a 1 on your
natural
d12, it is considered a critical failure.
Nice.
As you're firing off, it's very clear your nerves, despite being a practiced shooter, in some prior lifetime that you could feel, it's off. completely off. You absolutely miss this individual. However, in a critical failure, you do get an additional risk point.
Okay. Yay! Now I have 3.
Is there any type of a secondary action or relocation you would like to take?
Yeah, so I think Marco's pretty smart, so I'm gonna do the same as him, and I'm gonna hand my combat knife to Algernon. Like, come on, pretty boy. I'm just gonna throw it to him, like not specifically like hand it to him, but like, you go, boy. Don't mess this up.
I mean, I've never used one, but yeah, what the hell?
And next up will be Alex.
Yes, I have the rifle on my hand, so I'm going to. I mean, I think Alex have never. I know that she is a chemist, but she never used a gun before, so she's going to try to fire it. But I don't know how that's going to come up, but. Okay, that's a 6 and
Nothing.
6. No. Well, 6 and that's it because I don't. No. Look.
No, attribute.
No, yep,
I mean,
it's a 6.
it's already better than Marco's shot, so.
Ouch.
So a question for Alex: which of these 4 figures are you aiming at? Let's say 1, 2, 3, or 4 for left to right.
Oh no.
Let's say 3.
3.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
And what was your roll again?
6.
Okay. So as you're firing, it's just barely off.
Oh shoot.
It does miss,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
Mhm.
Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my chemist kit, and I'm going to start mixing in a tube. I'm going to start mixing things,
Okay.
and I'm going to stay there. Okay, so this is like a prepared action for the next turn.
Awesome. Okay, I love that for your secondary action. Good. Next up is going to be Algernon.
Okay, so I'm gonna use the infallible ragdoll attack. So I basically just slam myself against one of the shadows, so I can like try to tangle with him and try to stab him with my newly acquired combat knife. But I just run towards one of them. I'm gonna say the first one to the left.
First one to the left. Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll. So your D12 plus the modifier for the combat knife.
Which is
What was that, Amy?
It's 1d4.
1d4, yeah.
okay. So 1d12 and 1d4. Let's see. 9,
9.
6 on the 12, 3 on the 4. Sided
Okay.
dice.
Okay, perfect. And go ahead and roll damage for that. You do connect.
Which is again
A d4.
4.
4. Okay. I'm going to do 3 damage.
Okay.
One.
Okay, so Algernon, as you are going up towards this creature, this figure in front of you that, while very much similar in appearance to that shadow you'd seen before, is solid in a sense. You do feel resistance, you feel a corporeal form. What do you describe? Exactly how you're dealing a killing blow to this.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just like closing my eyes and screaming on the top of my lungs. I don't want to see what happens when I jam my knife into its body.
You actually killed your own clone.
So as you're just like screaming and just stabbing in towards this being on the leftmost side, you see that your hand like meets resistance. You feel like those force as you feel cold draining down your arm. The creature itself in front of you just disappears, dissolves into thin air.
I got one.
That's
Yes.
right, boy.
Here's your knife! And I'm, as a secondary action, I'm gonna throw my knife towards Amy, not at her, towards her. So she can grab it from the floor.
Okay.
It's like, catch!
Right.
And it just
I'm gonna
falls.
try to catch it.
And next up, it's going to be these figures. Okay.
I'm the
So
nearest to them, so they basically just surround me and
You're cool. You're cool.
beat
But
the
you have
shit
your-
out of me.
I'm gonna
You have
beat
your
up,
perfume
just
good.
like,
Oh well.
like that JoJo meme.
There's a fourth one like just watching and then it just like sips some his tea and then just
Joins
goes.
in.
Yeah, and joins in with a beating.
So you see as these creatures move toward these figures two of them almost look like they're moving towards one another, and you see like the figure also having a firearm of some sort. You hear two loud bangs in succession, but as you're looking at yourselves, you feel like you're not hit. You're fine. No one's been hit with these attacks. The last one approaches Marko. And Marko, could you remind me what your defense is?
7.
7. Okay. And your health points?
2.
Marko, as this creature moves towards you, you feel a pain shooting up your side. You feel immediately cold. As you're falling to the ground, is there anything that you would like to say or do as your last action?
Marko!
My gun. That's it. That's all I say.
Okay.
My God.
And Rest, you do see Marko fall, his figure lifeless on the ground.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Allan. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That does bring us
Mendoza.
to-
Mendoza!
That brings us back to this group, however. So next up, with Marko being out of initiative, is Amy.
oh, shoot.
3
I'm shocked.
figures standing in front of you.
Kill
Oh,
them!
Yeah. I'm gonna kill these guys.
Perfect.
Because, yeah, one by one, but I'm gonna try. So, yeah, again, I'm gonna try to shoot with my shotgun the same guy that I failed, because why not? So, yeah, 1d12.
Ooh, okay. So the person that you had initially tried to shoot Algernon actually had taken out.
Oh, okay.
So what is going to be the there's one that had just attacked and killed Marko.
That guy.
That one? Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a attack roll.
So, yeah, so it's gonna be the 1d12. Sorry, I
Yes.
just. And then.
Plus the modifier.
Plus the modifier. So that's 4 plus 2, 6.
4 plus
6.
2, 6. Okay.
Not
So
enough.
it is not enough. I will let you, if you would like to use a risk point, I'll let you use it.
Yeah,
Risk
because
it.
I just acquired one. So I'm gonna use that risk point and try to shoot again. Venga. 10. 10 plus 2, 12.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage for it.
That's a 1d8 for a 7.
For 7. Okay. So as you're going and firing, is there a particular area that you're aiming for on it? That is enough. Would you like to describe what happens?
Right, so really pissed off that that shadow thing just shoot like my comrade. Really angry and really, like not happy at all what that just happened. Amy loads her shotgun and directly just aim right into her head, its head, and try to blow it out like immediately.
And
Yeah.
just as described, the shot fires out and you see where you would expect there to be, as a trained Firearm expert, you
yeah.
are used to seeing blood, but you do not see that from this figure, but you see its form evaporate once more. It's no longer there, it's just 2 now. Is there anything else you would like to do as a movement or secondary action? Or sorry, relocation?
I'm just gonna try like a kamikaze thing. I'm just gonna approach another shadow and try to, I don't know if it's gonna be enough for my bonus action to try to distract them or make them difficult to shot to the other guys.
Absolutely. As you're taking the rest of your movement and your secondary action to try to like impose yourself over in this area.
Right.
Free of a check. That's just a cool, I like that term for the system. So as you're imposing yourself in this area, we'll say your turn ends there. Next up is going to be Alex.
Yes, I am basically doing my combination and mixing of things. I am practically doing a firecracker. So I'm mixing, and this, I actually investigated. I am mixing potassium chlorate and sugar because I have candies when I stress. So
Ooh.
I combine them, and when I have all of them in the flask, I kind of do this, and like if it were like a Molotov or a bomb or something, I'm going to throw it at the shadow thing that I don't know. I think we have 2.
You have 2 left. Yeah, that essentially.
That is 1 and 4.
2
Were
and
they
4, the originals.
Clumped together?
They're somewhat nearby one another. However, Amy has imposed herself somewhat in between. So, either left or the right.
Well, I was gonna be very pissed if I died.
Wait, which one? Amy is near both of them?
Somewhat nearby. If you're just trying to attack one, that's fine. I'll still have you make your sneak attack roll for one.
I'm going to attack just one, maybe the right one. So I'm going to just throw it. And the thing when it explodes, it's like a blue fire, so purple fire. So that's the thing of this mixing stuff of chemicals.
Okay, Alex.
So
an attack.
I make a roll. Yeah. Okay, so it's I'm doing with craft, so it's 11. 17.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and how are we going to assign this one? I like the creativity for it, and given it's kind of taking on a ranged weapon at the moment, I'm gonna say you could take a D8 for it.
Okay, D8. Where is my D8? Oh my god! Here it is. Okay, it was a 4.
4? Okay. Which, as you're throwing it forward, you see that flame, and you said purple, correct?
Yes, it's
purple flame take up, and Amy, you're just like narrowly outside of this area for it. You feel heat emanating off of it, and you see as the form starts like shifting a little bit. It's still standing though for now, but it's taken a hit.
Okay, and as the secondary action, I'm going to reload the rifle that Marko left with me, and I'm going to send for the next. I'm just going to move a little bit, maybe next to Algernon, because I don't know if he's going to be hit at some point. So I'm kind of protecting the handsome guy.
Protecting the handsome guy. Perfect. And let's see here. Next up is going to be Algernon.
Yeah. So seeing that my last strategy worked as a charm, I'm just gonna stand up and run again towards one of the other figures.
Okay.
I think there's only 2 left, correct?
Yeah.
So the nearest one. Again, tackle, stabby. Yeah, the old,
Okay, definitely.
So,
is this going to be the one that was just hit with the projectile?
Yeah, I'm gonna say since he probably is somewhat like he received allegedly some damage, so I'm gonna try to like finish him off.
Okay.
So it's 1d12, 1d4, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a 14.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage for, I believe it was another d4.
Yeah.
For your
4.
4 points. Okay. Would you like to describe what you do with this final blow on this one?
Yeah, having gained some confidence from the first attack, I'm just gonna like run towards him. At the last minute, I'm gonna like lurch forward and then just stretch my arms and go like this towards his neck with all my force and weight now. So I'm trying to
like
stab him.
Stabbing upwards into where like the neck throat meets the jaw of the shadowy figure. You feel the cold as though there's blood you just cannot see draining down on your hands, and the form disappears, leaving only one still standing.
Marko! So that's cool. As a secondary action, I just yell, Marko. And I'm going to relocate. And I'm going to do something that can be either very dumb. No, wait, they have guns. No, okay, no. So I'm just going to take a couple steps back. I was going to do something, but no. Yeah, a couple steps back, yeah.
Easy enough. A couple steps back as this happens, and as you see this final form standing there. And you see shadows still present. 2 more that are there. In the areas of the 2 that you had just killed.
Oh, shit.
Now, in the rapid succession of these next few events, you see what appears to be purple flame in the hands of one as it throws and hits Alex.
Oh, man.
Vaya.
Vaya.
As one wielding a small dagger moves forward and thrusts it up into Alex's throat. Alex, is there anything you would like to say before you fall?
No, Alex!
Probably while the blood is dripping through the in her neck and all, she just watches Algernon because it's the one that is closer to her, and she just says, "Live, just live for this." And
in the arms of an angel.
Marko's gone.
Damn it! No, I just look like I have this panicked look, and I gaze intently towards Amy, like asking without words, "What the fuck are we gonna do?"
Oh shoot!
And Amy, as you see Algernon looking towards you, this panicked look on his face, you hear a fire. Gunfire.
Oh no.
And you see Algernon falls.
No. No.
Blood going through the back of his head as his entire body collapses.
Cool.
Now, Amy.
Oh god.
As you're looking at the 3 bodies around you, and you're looking at these 3 forms, the 2 that had reappeared disappear, and you see one standing in front of you. Your heart begins to race. You feel a sense of ache in your stomach once more as it subsides. A sense of hunger satiated. As you blink, the figure is no longer in front of you. Now, Amy, each chamber you have entered was determined based on your party's choice. Your surroundings have only taken action that echoed your own. Echo chamber refers to situations in which beliefs are amplified or reinforced by communication and repetition inside a closed system, even so far as the main echo chamber being the communications you've had privately with the Instigator today. I'm sorry to break it to you, Amy, but you are not a victim. You are not prey. Today, you are the beast.
Oh shit.
And that is where we're going to end it.
Sweet. I get it just too late.
The beast was our friends that we made along the way.
Yep, the real beast was the friends.
Friendship is not always
sure.
the medicine to all. Phil, you're muted, dude.
Wait, I'm gonna say I'm still surprised I wasn't the first one to die today.
Yeah.
I knew it in the
What a
glass
plot
room.
twist.
I knew it, and I didn't do anything about it.
I understood where this was getting to at the moment that I was dying, and I was like, "Fuck."
At first, I thought that was what was happening. Like it is us, right? It is our shadows. But then things happened, and I said, no, it can't be. We're like fighting against another group of people who are going through the same thing. And no, apparently no.
No.
Yeah, echo chamber. I decided let's go ahead and make it quite literal echoes of each other. Why not? That could be fun. Maybe it played out in some ways I didn't expect, but thank you all so much for being players for me for this.
I'm shocked.
I really appreciate your all's time and trust with letting me try out this system. I absolutely love it so far. So thank you so much to ReRoll, for Noad as well, the Roll Heroes and Serious Owl. Want to give those shout outs once more. I guess since that's where we're at the end of this episode, Echo Chamber, I guess let's go around and do some little shout outs. Once more, my name is Breanna Flaim. You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Breanna Flaim. I am a tabletop streamer, so a channel organizer with the Initiative Order, where we run a variety of TTRPG systems. I'm also a ambassador for Jasper's Game Day. But most importantly, I'm just a very proud instigator for an amazing group of players tonight. So why don't we go ahead and have everyone introduce themselves once more, give yourself some shout outs. Why don't we start over Jimena?
Yeah. So, well, I'm Jimena. Fishy for the friends. You can find me at Jime_Fischer at Twitter, or at Half Motion, JAF Motion at Instagram. So yeah, that was pretty intense. Really, what a chart of events. I'm really shocked, and thank you very much, Bree, for the chance to play with your table. In your table, and oh my god, that was amazing. Thank you very much, and thanks for having me here.
That's great. And next up, why don't we go over to Philippe?
To me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
sorry.
you French.
Oui, merci.
Oui.
Again, my name is Philippe, and I'm part of the ReRoll team. I had a great time. You can find me at my Instagram, which should be under my name. It's at PhilgarCH. And I also, I have a podcast for those of you who are watching and don't know. It's called Rollo. And I'm also, I play from time to time or DM at ReRoll. And again, Bree, thanks a lot, Breanna, for being here with us today. It was an amazing experience, and it fulfilled all that I had hoped for this session. So thank you once again.
Thank you. Next up, let's go over to Allan.
Allan, you can find me on Twitter at robo_EP, where I just talk a lot of trash about Dungeons and Dragons because I really like it. And if you want, you could check out a podcast I did a long time ago called Star Wars Legacies on Spotify. That one was fun. It's I believe it's the 10 Candles one shot.
Nice.
And I look forward to another game. If I get invited, it'd be awesome.
Sure. And last but not least, Pita.
Hi, well, I am Pita Cruz. I am part 2 of the ReRoll team, the ReRoll creative team, and I am part 2 of the development team of Medula. So it was really an honor and a delight to see Bree make this one shot, and it blew my mind. So you can find me here basically in ReRoll, where I am a storyteller of many other systems. I am actually the DM for She is the Ancient campaign that is on Tuesdays from this week to the other. We are going to be having the second season. So yeah, remember to tune on 8 o'clock at night to see what's going on with that campaign. And you can find me in Instagram and on Facebook as Pita Cruz, because that's how everybody now knows me. And basically that's it, I think. And thank you so much. Really, it was mind-blowing. I think that my expressions cannot say it more than I already. I mean, it was
That was awesome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really enjoyed this system. I'm planning on running it with your blessing, if I can, on my own channel at some point potentially. I'd love to play with any of you again. And thank you, viewers, for checking in and watching this session. But from everyone here, I guess that's where we'll end it tonight. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.